Hello, Poke Fight Club. I am Tyki7125, but you probably already know that because I guess narrated just, I'd say, a little over a week ago. And I'm actually back permanently now because I am accepted onto the team. So that's awesome. If you like me, you should be happy because I'll be uploading much more often here. If you don't like me, well, that sucks to be you. So, here I have an OU battle against our one and only Tom, also known as Clifftongasium. And here I have Tyranitar, Terrakion, Landorus, Fortress, Lucario, and Latios, where he has Fortress, Volcarona, Rotom Wash. I don't have the Mystery Dungeon Sprite. Terrakion, Salamence, and Espeon. Now, my team is a very loosely based off of Glacial Cataclysm, if you've been on POSim, where it is sand, but with 5 Chozers in a fortress, whereas Cliff here is using a pretty standard OU team, I'd have to say. I mean, it's not like someone else's team, but it's pretty standard. Got some setups, we got some walls, we got some choicers, it's all good. So let's just get on with this battle now. So, I decide to lead off with my T-Tar, because he doesn't have weather. And he leads off Fortress, trying to get some hazards up on me. But I'm not worried because I have a Spinner, which is my own Fortress. Now, I switch into it just to, like, scare him out of setting up hazards. Though I'm not going to set up any hazards myself because I saw he had an Espeon on my team and didn't want that to come in. I went for the Volt Switch predicting the Espeon to come out, but it didn't, so I just go into my Choice Banded Landorus, try to get some good chunks off on his Fortress. He's just casually setting up hazards, and I'm just like, dude, I haven't Fortress myself, what are you planning on doing? So I just get a nice chunk off that Fortress with the Choice Banded Earthquake, and he just continues to set up hazards. Like, I don't know what you're predicting to happen, because I'm getting my spin off no matter what you do. So here I go into Latios predicting his Salamence to come out to just, like, resist the Earthquake. What I'm talking about resist, I mean be immune to. And he's just getting up his spikes. I'm like, okay. And I kill him off with an HP fire. Really? Wow, okay. So, my hazard's now up to stay. As you're gonna see here, I'm just gonna switch out into my Tyranitar. And he's just gonna set up his dual screens with his Espeon. I'm all like, okay Tom, you're planning something out, and I'm not quite sure what it is. I've played Tom a couple other times in OU, and I've lost most of them. I'm going to admit he's a better OU battler than I am. And I just go for the crunch after he set up his screen, so I'm like, okay, there goes your Espeon. My hazards are now permanently up, whenever I get them up. He sends in Terrakion now, I'm just gonna go into Fortress after foddering out my Tyranitar because I was predicting close combat, which nothing on my team wanted to take. Tyranitar pretty much did its job anyway. Kill it off the Espeon, which is what T-Tars do. So I go into Fortress now, and he goes with X-Scissor because he's locked. I don't know if he's Scarfed or Banded yet. And I just Rapid Spin to get rid of all the hazards, so like, I'm free to set up my own hazards now, as he's locked into X-Scissor, which won't do anything to this Fortress. He sends that Rotom Wash. I'm like, I don't care. I'm just gonna keep on setting up hazards. I don't care about Fortress. Can you not see this is based off of Glacial Cataclysm? So I got my rocks up, and now I'm just gonna proceed to set up as many layers of spikes as possible. He Volt Switches, probably predicting my switch, but I really don't care about my Fortress. So I got 1 layer of spikes up, and his Volcarona takes a huge chunk from the Stealth Rocks, as most Volcaronas do. And I'm just gonna Volt Switch out of there, because I don't want this thing setting up on my face, because +6 Volcarona bitch, you get into a thing about it. Can't believe I just quoted that. So he sets up 1 Quiver Dance, but I'm just gonna Volt Switch out into my Latios. I got a crit on the Volt Switch. It really doesn't matter because Fortress isn't known for attacking at all. So I go into my Scarfed Latios. I'm like, okay, I should be able to take this thing out with a Choice Scarfed Surf. I mean, there's no Sun Up, but he lives with 11%. I'm like, okay, bulky Volcarona. I mean, I've seen worse things. I mean, it's not horrible at all. I just normally expect a more defensive build instead of a specially defensive build. I realize he's at +1 and there is the light screen up, but I still think that would have done more. So I go for the quick attack, get a crit, which I don't think mattered because I'm running Banded Terrakion, and the Reflect is down, so I really don't think it matters. Now, he sends in his Salamence. I see it's Moxie Immense, so it's probably choiced. I'm just gonna fodder out my Fortress. It's not gonna be able to take 2 Outrages, but I don't care. I just want to free switch into something, which you're gonna see after he kills off my Fortress with his. He's locked into Outrage, of course. I'm going to go into my Choice Specs Lucario, which catches a lot of people off guard because most people expect a Swords Dance Extreme Speed set, maybe occasionally a Nasty Plot set, but Swords Dance set is by far the most common. Now, I go into it, but he knows this Lucario set because he has one himself. So I go for the HP Ice on this Rotom Wash. I'm like, oh, damn, he predicted that. And he's like, yeah, that's my set. I'm like, oh. So I'm just feeling kind of strong right now. Just gonna keep on going for Specs HP Ices on this Rotom, trying to get as much damage on it as possible. Because I don't really need to do much with Lucario. He missed his Hydro Pump. Gonna say that really didn't matter in the long run, because if you look at how much these HP Ices are doing, it's really not doing that much of this Rotom Wash, and I believe in the long run it's not gonna matter. And now he gets the crit Hydro Pump, which I'm also not sure if it mattered. We didn't do calcs because we didn't really give a damn. Now, his Rotom is about 50% right now. I know that I can take it out with either a Close Combat or a Stone Edge. So I just go for the safe Close Combat because it won't miss. Get the crit. Again, it didn't matter. It's Banded, and I'm pretty sure he Scarfed because he went for the Volt Switch. So he brings in Mence, and I'm like, you know what, this thing's taking quite a bit from these rocks. So I'm just going to switch into my Landorus as Death Fodder so I can get off a Stone Edge. But he goes to the Earthquake. I'm like, I have Landorus. Why are you not outraging? And he's locked into Earthquake, so I'm like, okay, I'll go for the Stone Edge, but I miss. So that kind of makes off for his Hydro Miss, I guess. But I'm just like, okay, let's do that. And he sends in Terrakion now to resist my Stone Edge. I'm like, Tom, are you... what are you I'm not sure what your plan is here. So, here, I see that I outspeed this Terrakion, and I'm a Banded Landorus and Jolly. So that tells me he is Adamant. He gets the crit Close Combat, which mattered because Resist, I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. But there's a lot of crits that don't really matter in this battle, I just noticed. I know I'm going to outspeed because Terrakion has a higher base speed than Landorus. I'm running Jolly on both, so I'm able to take it out with a Stone Edge because he's -1 and he's really low HP. And I know I have the battle because he has Salamence left. And I know because it's at 1%, I can take it out with 1 Stone Edge. And I survived the Earthquake because Terrakion has quite a bit of natural bulk. And I kill him off with the Stone Edge. And that is good game, Tom. So, you guys should sub to Poke Fight Club because Poke Fight Club is awesome. We do not talk about Poke Fight Club. I'm just kidding, that's just normal Fight Club. Give a like to this video if you liked it. If you don't like this video, why are you still watching it? I'm Tyki7125, you'll probably find me in the description, and peace out.